Good day to Dr. Rokia. We are from Group 4 and going to present the disclosure of 4 selected MFRS, audit methods, and also financial statement analysis for 5 selected companies. Before I start the presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lorraine, commentary number 277199. I'm going to present the disclosure of Persona Metro Holdings Berhad or PMHB for short. Basically, PMHB has adopted the Amendment of Accounting Standards and Interpretations from 2018 to 2020. However, only MFRS 16 leases have restatement in 2019. For disclosure of MFRS 110, only year 2020 has disclosed the event after reporting period, which is COVID-19 outbreak. Impairment loss on PPE and goodwill are the impact on financial position. For MFRS 116 property, plant and equipment, PMHB apply cost model and straight line method for PPE, while the depreciation rate of PPE is between 2% to 30%. For MFRS 136 impairment of assets, PMHB only disclosed impairment of PPE in year 2020, which causes significantly different between the year before COVID-19 and during COVID-19 period. Besides, PMHB have two key audit methods addressed in financial statements, which are revenue recognition from construction contracts and impairment of receivables. That's all from me. I pass the floor to the next presenter.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Lim Zihang, match number 277539, and I'm going to present the disclosure of WCT Holding Berhad. WCT Holding Berhad have a few amendments that related to MFRS 108 from 2018 to 2020, and there is no any material implication except MFRS 16 in 2019 and 2020. For disclosure of MFRS 110, year 2019 and 2020 has disclosed the event after the reporting period and their COVID-19 outbreak, disposal of land, settlement agreement, lease commitment reduction, transfer of shares and put option. For disclosure of MFRS 116, WCT Holding Berhad apply cost model and straight line method for PPE, and there is no any depreciation rate for PPE. For MFRS 136, WCT Holding Berhad did not disclose any impairment of PPE which it cannot cause any significant difference before COVID-19 and during COVID-19 period. Besides that, WCT Holding Berhad have two key audit methods which stated in financial statement, and they are revenue recognition of construction contract and carrying value of completed inventory properties. Next, I will pass the floor to the next presenter.
Good day to Dr. Logan. My name is KIONG, match number 277811. Now I am going to present a disclosure of PERSCO Berhad. PERSCO Berhad adopt the amendment of accounting standard and interpretation from 2018 to 2020. However, only MFRS 60 leases had restatement in 2019. For disclosure of MFRS 110, year 2019 and 2020 had disclosed the event after reporting period with COVID-19 outbreak. For MFRS 116 PPE, PERSCO Berhad apply cost model and straight line method for PPE, while the depreciation rate for PPE is 2% to 33.33%. For MFRS 136, PERSCO Berhad did not disclose any impairment on PPE, which indicate no significant difference between the year before COVID-19 and during COVID period. Besides, PERSCO Berhad had two key audit methods are addressed in financial statement, which are revenue recognition from construction contract and impairment on trade receivable. That's all for me. I will pass the floor to the next presenter.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Sean Wei and my metric number is 280718. Today, I would like to present about Notion Retech Berhad. For the disclosure of MFRS 108, there is no material implementation except for MFRS 9 Financial Instrument, MFRS 15 Revenue from Contract with Customer, and MFRS 16 Lease. But there is no restatement in financial year 2018, 2019, and 2020. For disclosure of MFRS 110, the group received an offer from the insurer after the reporting period 2019. And the shareholder of the company have approved the diversifications of the existing business of the group after the reporting date 2020. For the disclosure of MFRS 116, Notion Retech Berhad apply cost model for PPE. Depreciation method of PPE is based on straight line basis with 2% to 30% depreciation rate. For disclosure MFRS 136, they have impairment loss of PPE in financial year 2018, 2019, and 2020. There only have reversal of impairment loss for PPE in financial year 2019 and 2020. Therefore, there is significant difference in PPE impairment between financial year before and during COVID-19 pandemic. From financial year 2018 to 2020, Notion Vitek Berhad had addressed two of the same key audit matter, which is inventory variations and PPE impairment. In financial year 2018, there is an additional key audit matter, which is impairment of investment in subsidiary.
Hi and Assalamualaikum Doctor. My name is Syamimi binti Muhammad RADZI, major number 280851. Next, I'll present the disclosure for company Unimesh Group Berhad. Unimesh Group Berhad have a few amendments related to MFRS 108 from 2018 to 2020, but the company only have restatement for MFRS 9 financial instrument and MFRS 50 revenue from contract with customer during 2018. In 2019, the company only have restatement of the MFRS 16 leases. For MFRS 110, only in 2019 and 2020 have event after reporting period, which in 2019 and 2020, the company have to face the COVID-19 outbreak. And in addition, in 2020, the subsidiary group of the company also disposed 75% equity interest in Inventive Potential Saudara Berhad. For the disclosure of MFRS 116 property, plant and equipment, Unimesh Group Berhad apply cost model and straight line method for PPE, and the depreciation rate is between 2% until 33%. Next, for MFRS 136, impairment of asset does not show any significant difference before year of COVID-19 and during COVID-19 when the carrying amount trend is decreasing, and there is no reversal of impairment along the year. Lastly, the company addressed two key audit matters for 3 years, which are inventory valuation and impairment of trade receivable. That's all the disclosure for Unimesh Group Berhad. I will pass to the next presenter for financial analysis.
Now I will continue the presentation with current ratio. Based on the graph, the liquidity of Notion Vitek Berhad is the best, as they have the highest current ratio among all the companies selected, while the liquidity of Persona Metro Holding Berhad is the worst because they have the lowest current ratio compared with others companies selected. A current ratio between 1.5 and 3 is generally considered as satisfactory range, but the higher current ratio is better than the lower current ratio because a higher current ratio indicates that the company is more likely to pay the creditor back.
Now I will continue with the asset turnover ratio. The performance of Persona Metro Holdings Berhad is the best as they have the highest asset turnover ratio among the company, while the performance of Labiosity Holdings Berhad is the worst as they have the lowest asset turnover ratio among the company. The second highest asset turnover ratio is Protosco Berhad as it shows an increase in 2020, while the other company shows a continuous decrease in both 3 years. All of the companies except Protosco Berhad were not efficient in using their assets to generate sales in 3 years due to the pandemic of COVID-19. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Now, I will continue with the financial statement analysis, which is return on asset. Labiosity Holdings Berhad had the worst return on asset, where there is decreasing return on asset and the company is not be able to generate profit. It may be because of the impact of MFRS 136 impairment of asset. Persona Metro Holdings Berhad and Protosco Berhad show an unstable return on asset, which both company return on asset in 2019 increasing and decreased in 2020. Both of the company is not able to generate profit during 2020 due to pandemic COVID-19 and impact of MFRS 136 impairment of asset. Furthermore, Notion Vitek Berhad and Unimesh Group Berhad shows a good return on asset, where they able to generate income in each year even there is slightly decrease from one year to another year. However, there is no MFRS related to the decreasing of the return on asset, but there is only few problems of the company. That is all for my part. I will pass to the next presenter.
Now I will continue with the return on equity ratio. WTC Holding Berhad and Persona Metro Holding Berhad have a low return on equity and a negative return on equity compared to other companies. The low return on equity indicates the efficiency to generate the income by using the capital fund it was, while the negative return on equity explains that the company is unable to generate the positive income by using the capital. However, Persona Metro Holding Berhad has an unstable return on equity compared to other companies. Besides, the return on equity for Notion Vitek Berhad and Unimesh Group Berhad is steadier compared to other companies because they record a positive return on equity during the COVID-19 period in 2020. Overall, there is no MARA impact on the total equity and net income in each company for 2018, 2019, and 2020.
Now I will continue with the debt to total assets ratio. Notion VTech Berhad and Unimed Group Berhad are low in debt to total assets ratio, which shows that they are able to handle the debts compared to the other three companies. However, WCT Holdings Berhad, Prokasco Berhad, and Unimed Group Berhad has a good performance in reducing the financial leverage during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is in 2020, compared to Sonam Metro Holdings Berhad and Notion VTech Berhad. That's all from our group. Thank you.